recommendation.
That's a
But
report that we got from the county drainage engineer.
okay.
Typically what happens in instances like that, they do make that, or they make statements like that. Sometimes the commission will make any rezoning contingent upon satisfaction with that. What we've seen though is that in the past when we've done that contingency for the preliminary drainage analysis, they'll just turn it into a drainage study and have it approved their construction plans anyway, like normal. So I mean,
Yeah.
that requirement, although you know the county drainage engineer is suggesting that it's almost sort of obsolete at this point, just because what we've seen is the developers usurp that process and just submit the entire drainage study for like their development.
Yeah.
So in the consideration for our vote, this is not important.
And that's what I was trying to get the point across, and I understand Mr. Fletcher's concerns about this, and I'm not trying to. I mean, I understand. I don't hold it against you for you being upset, but yeah, I mean, the right now, from my perspective, what we're ruling on is whether the land use houses should be allowed. But we are not agreeing right now at all that there are not traffic concerns that they shouldn't have to deal with, that there are not that there are not drainage issues that they shouldn't have to deal with. So that's when we're not voting before we know. We're voting and saying, yeah, we're good with the use, but you got to get these things right, or you're not going and breaking ground out there. Okay, and so that's where hopefully that helps a little bit to kind of understand it. No, I'm not trying to put the cart before the horse. You know, I mean, I'm really not, and that's what there's checks and balances in this. All right, is there any other discussion? Ordinary for us to just.
Why can't you wait until you get that report?
And I'll say this: it's because of the cost. Frankly, it's because, in fairness, the cost to really look at the traffic. I mean, what goes into this is they go out and they get counts of every car that's going down that road at the exact time. Okay, then they figure out what time frames it is, and they run an analysis on when's the peak time. Is it 8:30 with school traffic? You know, all right, how many cars do we have at that time? How far are they progressing? How are cars queuing? Are they stacking up at these intersections? And they got to gather a ton of data, and then they have to do a ton of analysis. And for the water, it's even more complicated, and the cost and engineering that goes into all that. So they come to see if the land use is compatible before they go spend all their money on engineering. And so that's why it typically comes at the back end, is because, in fairness, before they go spend $50,000 on engineering, they want to know whether they're ever going to get off the ground compatibility-wise. And that's the reason. So, all right. All right, I hope we've given this enough attention. And yes, Dr. Dickerson.
So at some point, this comes back to us.
It will come back to us to approve the lots.
Right.
Yes. Now,
but we'll have all of this information. We'll know about the traffic and the water and the.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Is there any other?
But it's also about the fact that Jefferson County does not patrol out there like they should, and the speeds people drive down these roads are unbelievable. And
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. I've
Yeah.
seen it. I contacted them about it. They don't care. They literally told me they didn't care that they pass on yellow lines. They speed. They go in front of my house.
Yeah.
60 miles an hour and 40, and then the 30 they're going 50.
All right.
They don't care.
All right.
It's
Thank you.
people that are coming to see people that are just cutting.
Yeah. And ma'am, I hear you, and I'm not trying to cut you off, but that is, or they work for the county but have volunteered to come up here and be the one to stand. So I hear you, but can't.
Because my daughter and my
Okay.
soon-to-be ex-husband will be there, and I want the land to be worth something. I want them to have a decent place to live.
Okay.
My granddaughter to be safe on the roads when she
Okay.
drives.
All right, thank you. We're going to close the public hearing then, and we'll call for a motion.
Chairman, first of all, I appreciate everybody's input. Absolutely do. And we listen to y'all. We've been here for a couple hours. We listened to every word you said, and we appreciate that. But at the end of the day, we have to make a decision. Our decision is based on the rules and regulations and zoning rules and regulations that we have to go by. If we rule on emotions, a lot of things will not get passed. And I wish I could rule emotions sometime, but bottom line is we have to go with what the county sets forth in a comprehensive plan if they meet all the requirements, and they have. And based on that, Mr. Chairman, my recommendation is approval for case Z 2022-0005.
Got a motion and a second. Let's do a roll call vote, please. Ms. Hughes.
No.
I abstain.
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Yes.
Abstain.
All right. All right, then the motion carries. Again, the final decision will be made by the county commission at a subsequent meeting. Y'all will have the opportunity to talk with them and go through the concerns at that time again, okay? All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Oh, was it recognized you? You didn't have to be at the last time I saw you. You didn't say I wasn't here.
Good job. See y'all later.